Alok Vats, your leader of the BJP, Ravi Srivastava is a political analyst, speaks on behalf of the Congress party. Both of you joining us. Alok Vats, for all you know, what our reporter is saying that there could be legal action taken against Digvijaya Singh. I want to ask you, for one tweet that was obviously a mistake that has now been deleted, baat ka batangad kyun bana rahe hain is what Congress supporters will say.
You see, Shreya, this is not the first time that Digvijaya Singh has done this. He is a repeated offender. And this type of tweet, it creates disparity among religions. So there should be a legal action against
लेकिन ये एक ट्वीट से दंगा कैसे भड़कता है? वत्स साहब जरा ये समझाइए मुझको, वो भी ट्वीट जिसको डिलीट कर दिया गया है।
मैडम, एक पत्थर से बहुत पूरा घर टूट जाता है।
हाँ, नहीं, बुलडोजर से भी टूट जाता है। आपने तो 12 लोगों का तोड़ दिया, जज ज्यूरी एग्जीक्यूशनरी बन गई है मध्य प्रदेश की गवर्नमेंट।
हमने जहां कहीं भी बुलडोजर चलाया है, उसके प्रमाण हैं, उसके साक्ष्य हैं कि वो गलत काम हुआ है या गलत अवैध कब्जा है। अगर इस तरीके से गलत ढंग से बुलडोजर चलेगा, तो व्हाई डोंट पीपल मूव टू द कोर्ट एंड गेट अ स्टे ऑर्डर फ्रॉम देयर?
ऐसा है मिस्टर वत्स, तो आप तो कोर्ट पे भी बुलडोजर चला दीजिए। कोर्ट की तो जरूरत ही नहीं है टू द मध्य प्रदेश गवर्नमेंट। यू हैव ऑलरेडी डिसाइडेड हु इज द गिल्टी, यू हैव ऑलरेडी प्रोनाउंस्ड पनिशमेंट।
Tell me one thing, if a guy is absconding, if he is a rapist and he is wanted and he is absconding, if a guy has broken the social fabric, उन्माद फैलाने की कोशिश की है and police is on his lookout,
मैं पत्थरबाजी की बात कर रही हूँ, रेपिस्ट की बात नहीं कर रही सर।
मैं पत्थर की बात कर रहा हूँ। जिन घरों से पत्थर फेंके गए, क्या वो लोग क्या सही लोग थे जिन्होंने पत्थर फेंका? What they were trying to create by throwing stones? What was the message they were trying to give? And if they are absconding, अगर उनके घर and we know where they belong to, और उनको शील्ड किया जा रहा है, तो वहां पर अगर इस तरीके की कार्रवाई होगी, तो what is wrong in it? Tell me.
Nothing. लेकिन कोर्ट का क्या काम है? कोर्ट का क्या काम है? फिर उस पे भी बुलडोजर चला दीजिए।
People in India need strict disciplinary action. This is what was missing. And people were taking things for granted.
In accordance with the law. You should have added in accordance with the law, which you haven't, Mr. Vats. But that's your point of view.
Yes.
Let's get in Mr. Ravi Srivastava as well.
I pointedly said this right in the beginning. As per the law, who's an offender, who's absconding, even only he's taken to task. Not everybody like that.
Okay, so Ravi Srivastava, the point that the BJP, the larger point that the BJP is making is that this is the sort of stuff that cannot be tolerated. You need to make an example out of people and situations so that things like this are not repeated again. What's the harm?
The point is that anything has to be done as per the law. You cannot take an action so long a person isn't accused. He has to be tried. An FIR is to be filed, a case is to be registered, the charge sheet is to be filed, evidences should be produced, he should be tried by the court of law. Then you call a person a convict. If a person becomes convicted, then you can take the action as per the law. But here, it's a jungle raj. It's a person is accused and we have demolished his house. What I'm asking my gentleman who is the co-panelist here, who allowed the procession to carry the swords, the all kind of ammunitions with him, who allowed the procession to carry the loudspeaker and the DJ and the slogan shouting, all such things opposite those mosques or the Muslims' residences, houses, then what for that permission was granted? So it's a keeping an eye closed and trying to become a Yogi Adityanath in Madhya Pradesh. I think this is absolutely the court should take a
So you are speaking about Yogi Adityanath. Mr. Vats, I'll want you to come in here, but I just want to read out what the Allahabad High Court had said when the UP administration on the orders of Yogi Adityanath had put up hoardings displaying photos and personal details of those people who were accused of violence during the protest against CA. So you remember the incident, all our viewers remember the incident. This is what the court had said. The court had said that the state government needs to remove all posters, and the move to put those posters to name and shame these people, alleged rioters, was an unwarranted interference in the privacy of people and violative of the constitution. So essentially, if someone does take you to court Mr. Vats, if someone does take the Madhya Pradesh government to court, you have no legal ground to stand on. If UP is the model that you're trying to follow.
Obviously, if there is something good happening somewhere, why shouldn't we follow it? Tell me. People of this
अरे भैया
country
कोर्ट
need...
बोल रहा है गुड नहीं था, गलत
What is
था.
good in it?
Please, one at a time.
हाँ जी, go ahead.
And please, थोड़ा volume कम कीजिए. It's really blaring in the ears.
I apologize. मुझे लगता है मैं बहुत जोर से बोलने लगी हूँ. I apologize for that. And can we just reduce the volume for Mr. Vats? I think my voice is blasting in his ears. Okay, Mr. Vats, go ahead. This is what happens to TV people, Mr. Vats, and politicians also. I think during debates, सब बहुत चिल्ला के बोलना शुरू कर देते हैं. Go ahead.
You are bulldozing my ears.
And you are bulldozing human rights is what people whose homes have been bulldozed will say. But go ahead, make your point.
You see, Shreya, people in this country need strict disciplinary actions. बहुत हो गया. Everything is made into a fiasco. ऐसे नहीं चलेगा. If a procession was going on and it was a religious procession, why should you throw stones at them? Tell me. Give me one reason for this the stone was thrown. One particular reason which is in favor of throwing the stone. And not one guy did it. Hordes of people were throwing stones at them. Is this what is to be done?
Absolutely
If a procession...
I agree with you.
That is what... And if they are
whether stones are pelted in Kashmir or in Madhya Pradesh or in Karnataka or in Gujarat or in UP, anywhere, it's simply not acceptable. But yes. Mr. Vats, fact also is, you and I both know the nature of religious processions. You and I both know that religious processions where you have DJs blaring loud music. एक तो आप मुझे जरा बताइए कि ये कौन से मतलब ये कैसी रामनवमी की प्रोसेशन होती है जिसमें डीजे बड़ा अपना लाउड स्पीकर लेके गाने बजाते हैं, especially when you're going through a mosque. I'm not saying that justifies stone pelting. I'm just saying that this is not the spirit of Ram Navami. That this is then the procession becomes all about Hindu aggression and nothing else. आप वहाँ चिढ़ा रहे हैं मुसलमान जो लोग अपना नमाज पढ़ रहे हैं मॉस्क में, उनको चिढ़ाने के लिए काम कर रहे हैं. This is the view of the Muslim community. And since Muslims live in your state as well, you need to hear their side of the story too, जो आप सुनना नहीं चाहते शायद.
Let me tell you one thing. It's a fact. Of late, all religious congregations, whatever they do aggressively. Whether it is Hindu, whether it is Muslim, whether it is Sikh, whether it is Christian, of late it has been noticed. कुछ ज़्यादा जरूरत से ज़्यादा जागृति हो गई है भगवान के प्रति. और उसकी होड़ लगी हुई है दिखाने के लिए कि कौन कितना ज़्यादा चिल्ला के भगवान के नजदीक जाना चाहता है. So this I agree with you. This is a mistake, whosoever is doing it, whether it is a Hindu or a Muslim or anybody. But then there should be a blanket ban on all these things. Like in Bihar, DJ is totally stopped. So nobody can play DJ, whether it is a Hindu or Muslim. आप मध्य प्रदेश में भी कर दीजिए. Do it there also. Stop. And as regards this Ajan thing and this...
But the government is... Alok ji, the government is a BJP government in Madhya Pradesh. And there is something called an LIU unit in every little small town and district, and everyone knows what is going to happen.